What's up guys, Dan here at Yourpbfriend.com. I'm going to bring you a quick video here on paintball lubricants and lube for your markers. I have a lot of questions from people asking what is the right lube to use on their markers, and one of the big thing is, should I use Dow33 or Dow55 or something like an oil like Tri-Flow, and what's the difference? Especially Bob-Long players out there, you're going to ask the question of should I use Dow33 or Dow55, and I'll explain that for you as well. Let me go over basically the different lube options that you have there. I'm going to say first, check your manual. Your manual usually tells you what the recommended lube is. Now, most paintball lube, like the grease here from Smart Parts or GOG, it's actually a silicone lubricant. It's actually an industrial lubricant, Dow33, made by Dow Cornings. And they make it for bearings and other things, and actually works really good in extremely cold temperatures all the way to really hot temperatures. It's silicone based, so it's pretty light, and it just does a great job. And that's what 95% of all greases in the paintball market are. Planet Eclipse grease is a Dow33 grease. From GOG is Dow33. Most of them are out there. The second thing you have is Dow55. You Bob-Long owners have probably heard the most about Dow55. And let me explain to you what 55 is. 55 is a Dow33. It's made by the same company, Dow Cornings. And it's still a silicone-based lubricant, but it has an additive in it to make the O-rings swell. It's specifically made for rubber O-rings to help them seal, or rubber gaskets to swell and seal, so that you're not going to have any problems or leaks. Now, one way to test it is if you smell Dow55 instead of Dow33, is Dow55 smells kind of minty, very lightly, and so that's one way to tell. Both of these are non-toxic. I mean, it's not suggested that you eat it. If they say, you know, if you breathe, go get fresh air. If you swallow it, don't induce vomiting, just rinse out your mouth. And if you have symptoms, you know, contact a poison control, but you shouldn't have issues. But that's a 33, doesn't swell O-rings, and 55 does swell O-rings. And then you have a lubricant like Tri-Flow, some very nice oil. So Planet Eclipse has oils and a couple different oils out there. Then you're going to have some things like monkey poo, and I believe this is vitamin E, and then you have MacDev's lube. Most of these things are all based on a Dow33 silicone lubricant platform and have some type of high quality oil substance mixed in order to allow it to bond stronger onto the metal of the gun and allow it to stay slicker longer. That's pretty much the thought. Sometimes it also thins it out, as like a Dow55's pretty thick. So here, let me explain to you the gist of what you use these on. You have two pretty much basic type of markers. You have a spool valve marker where it's a closed bolt, like your Geos, your Bob-Long, VCOMs, your die markers, your Luxes, your Vanquishes. Pull the engine out. These markers, you all want to stick a Dow33 or a Dow33 based lube on them. And what that does is it allows there to be less friction when it goes up. It's a light lube, and it allows it to seal around the O-ring so you don't have many problems. And it just works very well. So as you see, this has a Dow33, or this is actually monkey poo. It smells like bananas. We really like monkey poo because it's a Dow33 based lube, so it seals well, and then it also seems to stick onto the bolt longer. Then you have Dow55. You do not want to stick Dow55 in your spool engines, and this is why. When you stick Dow55, it causes a slight swelling to happen to the O-rings. That can create more friction in your gun, and we've seen it. If you cake it on there, it's a little thicker, makes the O-ring swell, you'll get more friction. You have to turn up the pressure of the gun in order for it to operate. And in some cases, we've even seen O-rings swell to the point where they start to break. Dow55 is best used for things like an ASA O-ring or a body O-ring or your regulator O-ring, something that's a static seal. In other words, an O-ring that doesn't really move often and doesn't have a lot of friction going there, but it needs to maintain its sealing properties. Dow55 works great for that. You Bob-Long users out there, you'll have the question, well, Bob-Long recommends Dow55 on all Bob-Longs. It's not actually true. Dow55 works really good when the O-ring tolerances or the gun tolerances are more loose. And so swelling of the O-rings does really good. G6Rs are really one of the #1 areas that you use it. You can use it all in the internal halves of the gun and the regulators, and it does a great job. The only company that I know that actually recommends it for the rammer of your poppet style guns is actually Bob himself. Let me see if I can get this off of my fingers. Alright, can't take that off. But your rammer on the inside, Bob recommended it for his G6R rammers because he said that it helps fix the little tolerances that may be off and helps it to seal. Most other rammers, you're going to use a tri-flow type lubricant. So the old Victory poppet engines that move back and forth, you have kind of the metal rammer or connected to the bolt head. You can put some oil on that. You can also use a monkey poo, actually works pretty well with those things as well. So if you're using a bob long marker, you're using a spool valve marker, even like the Vis engine, I highly recommend that you use a Dow33 or even a Dow33 mixture like a monkey poo or something, to the extent Pootie's Magical Lube, stuff like that. That'll work really good for your parts like regulators that are more static and you just want to seal. Go ahead and whip out that Dow55. You can use Dow33 on those parts no problem as well on most guns. Most areas aren't so demanding that they need 55. But if you do have a pesky tiny leak and let's say an ASA connection or something, you can use 55. It swells it and kind of fixes that situation. When you're lubing your bolt, you don't actually need to over-lube your Delrin bolts. A lot of people take oils and put all kinds of oil on it. Delrin actually can swell when you put oil on it, and so you want to keep that very minimal. You just want the O-rings. Here, these O-rings don't take a lot of pressure. They just kind of direct the air because the air can flow through the bolt easily. And so you just kind of can keep them a little bit wet, but you don't want oil all in your breech and soaked in everywhere. Oil's mainly for your rammer. But yeah, if you have any questions, you can see all these available at Yourpbfriend.com and purchase all these lubes. And if you have any questions, just contact us, comment, like, and subscribe this video, and let us know what you think and what lube you use for what marker. Thanks, guys.